to solve any chess puzzle. Whenever a puzzle is put in front of you, like this one. Okay, we have another discovered attack. Another discovered attack. You should take a few seconds or a minute, take a minute, and analyze the puzzle first. Find out what part of the game are you in. Are you in the opening, middle, or end game? And the first thing to look for on any puzzle, because we're really, on puzzles, we're looking for the best move. So really, the best move is, what's the best move? If I'm playing a chess game, the best move in the entire game is checkmate. That's right. So when you get a puzzle, the first thing you should look for is checkmate in one move. That is the best move. That's the first thing to look for. And believe it or not, when you're playing puzzles, when you're doing a puzzle, you should do it like you're playing a game. A puzzle should be like a move in your game. So what a puzzle does is takes a moment in a chess game and say, what do you do? So on each move, what you should do, see if you have checkmate in one move. If you have checkmate in one move, the game is over. On that move, the game is over. You have checkmate, the game is done. But what if you don't have checkmate? The other thing to do is to find checkmate, what I should say is, you have to find check. So you should keep up with the checks. You should always know when your men have the ability to attack your opponent's king. That is check. I didn't say take every check. I didn't say take every check. I said be aware of the checks. And what you should see is not just the check and what happens to get out of check. Because if you find a check that your opponent cannot escape with a capture, a block, or a move, there's the threes of chess again. Capture, block, move. If he can't get out of check, you won the game. That's checkmate. Okay? So, move number one is to look for mate in one. The second thing to look for is to look for all the checks. Number 1 and 2 are combined, because while looking for those checks, you may find checkmate. But let's say you don't find checkmate. Then you should see what your checks do to the third move. Not just whether your opponent gets out of the check, but what other move can you add to that once they escape check? They may be in a position for, guess what? Mate in one once again. Every time you move, on your next move, you go back to step number 1 of puzzle solving. Do you have checkmate in one move? If you have one move that isn't checkmate, but that move leads to checkmate on your second move, well, that is a mate in 2 move puzzle. Okay? And there are mate in 2 move puzzles. Now let's say that there's no checkmate. Let's say there's no checkmate. Let's say it looks like it's going to be a minute to do checkmate. You can see that there's no obvious quick checkmate that's going to occur. So the third thing to look for in a puzzle is a material advantage. Because during a chess game, the game is very equal throughout the game. You take a piece, your opponent takes a piece, probably equal pieces. A bishop for a knight for a bishop, a rook for a rook. As long as the exchanges are equal, both sides keep the same material. But to win your game, you need a material advantage. Yeah, you need a material advantage. So that's what puzzles are to lead to. Puzzles are to help you find the best next move. The best next move in a mate in one puzzle's checkmate. If you can't find a mate, then look to see what the checks do. If the material is still even in the game, then what you should do is look for what exchanges can put your pieces better than your opponent's. Or better yet, here we go, what tactic? What tactic can you apply to make your side better than your opponent's side? And that's what there is to solving puzzles. Alright, step number one, do you have mate in one? Always look for that. I see games that play way too long that could have been over 10-15 moves ago, but guess what? The person wasn't looking for check. So if you're not looking for check, guess what? You're not going to find checkmate. It's that simple. You can't find checkmate without first finding check. So let's do some puzzles and watch this puzzle video again. Solving puzzles. This is how you solve all chess puzzles. Looking for mate on the first move. If you can't find the mate, look to see what the checks do. Okay? Look to see what the checks do. If you can't find anything with the checks, see if your material is still even and then find a tactic. See what exchanges will lead to a tactic. A fork, a pin, a skewer, a discovery. Tactics are what take a piece away from your opponent that they don't give back and gives you the advantage in your game. So use your puzzle solving skills. Do puzzles. Solve a bunch of puzzles. Quite often on most puzzle websites, your puzzle rating is higher than your game playing rating. That's because when you do your puzzles, you actually slow down and find the best move. When you're playing the game, sometimes you're going so fast you forget what you're supposed to be looking for. So let's solve some puzzles. I'm going to show you the moves. This is it. I'm going to show you the moves. I know you've been dying to see that. Watch this.